Look what you can do with a $1 cup and a $1 bowl. It's unbelievable, and the birds are going to love you for it. Oh my goodness, the cutest, most colorful thing. And I have to admit, I've already made 2. I think I'm making 2 more. Oh my goodness, the birds love the new hanging fountain. Let's go in and I'm going to show you how you can make this too for so cheap. A 50-cent plate, a watermelon cup for $1 from Dollar Tree, or any cup you want to use, and $2 bowls, and the fabric of your choice if you want to change the color. If you like your bowl, you'll only need 1 bowl. Let's go in and make this fun hanging fountain. This is so fun to make. Let's get this together. I am using 2 bowls, but you can use only 1 bowl if you want. You got a fancy bowl? Go for it. I'm just using 2 gray bowls. We're going to encase that with fabric. Now we need a plate for the top. No, well, I need a plate for the top. You may not want to do it, but I'm going to expand that chain. Now, why would I want to expand the chain? You'll see as we go on. Now, here's the fabric I picked up at Dollar Tree. Oh my gosh, I only picked up 1. I should have picked up 2. Watermelon. And you want to know something? It fits on their bowls I also picked up. I'm going to turn my power station on. Yes, I could bend down and plug in my soldering iron, but this is easier for me. So now my soldering iron is heating up, and while it's heating up, I'm going to put my fabric on the bowl. It's simply tucking it in. Now this bowl is a softer plastic, so I can use my paper stapler, which is called a plier stapler, to staple it on, put it in place. So the staples will hold the fabric if I take the bowl out later to wash it, let's say once a week or whenever it needs washing. You can use painter's tape because it's simply just trying to hold the fabric in place. You could do anything you want, really. Probably nothing. Now look at that. You have now sandwiched the 2 bowls together, and you don't have to paint it or anything, and I don't have to find the fancy expensive bowl or run to the thrift stores looking for a bowl. Now this is what the plate's going to do. It's going to spread those chains wider. Why? Because hummingbirds beat those wings so fast and move so quickly that I want them to be able to fly in between comfortably and be able to land on there. And plus it's good for larger birds coming in too. So there's 3 chains, so we're going to make holes in 3 separate spots to spread it evenly. But we're going to put 2 holes in the same spot because I am going to use bread ties or wire or even a zip tie to spread the chain. Here, I've decided to go ahead and use bread ties. Why? I have a drawer full. You know, the junk drawer we all have? Oh my gosh. You asked me for something, I probably have it. Now, see the 2 holes on the bowl? We're going to count the links down. Now here, I think I'm going to go 8 links down. This will keep it even. I'm trying to do it up here, but it's not working. I think I'm stretching too much. It's going to be much easier to put it on the table. So I'm going to unhook it, sit it on my little table, and just put the bread ties through the 2 holes. And you're also going to put it through the chain in one spot, and then just twist it on. You're going to do that to all 3 of those holes you made. That's it. See now what it does? There's no real pressure there, so bread ties will work great. Now when the birds come in, they've got that wide span between the chains there, and it's easy for them to go in and out. My bowl's in there. Look at that. That's the one that stays there, so when I go to clean it or take it apart, I only have to remove the inner bowl. Now, in my past videos, I used to put the pump inside, which we still could do, of the cup that I was using. But lately, I've been using food containers. I picked those up, 5 for $1.25 at Dollar Tree. But I picked up 2 different sizes. Notice that one's taller, and that's a little too tall for this fountain. And that one is shorter, and I know the pump will fit inside. I like having a pedestal on the cup. It brings it up, plus the pump goes underneath, and it really does help a little bit from tipping or bringing your cup up so you can see it good. Now I'm going to use here a solar fountain kit, but we don't need all the doodads that come with it. We only need the panel that is already plugged in here. You can see as I'm pulling it out, and the pump itself. Some of them do have a separate piece that goes on the top. It's just flat when you open it with a hole. You'll have to put that piece in. This one has the piece built in. Now here, I'm just going to check out the container. It's short. Oh, it's going to fit perfect underneath. And the cup, the watermelon cup, will be sitting on top. Now what I have to do is I've got to make a hole for the straw, because the straw is going to go through the bottom. And this is a thin plastic, so this is really fast and easy to do using my hot soldering iron, but it's not quite hot enough. I just flipped the switch on my 200-watt power unit that I use. So it's heating up. We're going to have to make sure the hole is big enough on the top for whatever straw I use, hole on the bottom of the cup, and then a hole, of course, on the food container. Now, you can, again, skip that part if you want, but I like using a little pedestal lately. And now we're going to go ahead and make that hole on the bottom big enough for the straw to go through the bottom of the cup, through the food container, and attach our pump. And I'm just using my scissors to kind of scrape out any of the hard plastic. Now I'm going to repeat this over and over. Before we put this out, the most important thing is to wash everything. So give it a good wash in the sink. Okay, now the straw goes through the cup. It's going to go through the base. And of course, there's no holes in the bowl. Just the pedestal, food container, base, bowl, whatever you want to use on the bottom of your cup. But there's one more thing I'm going to do here. It's just easier. I'm going to make 2 holes on either side. I hope you can see what I'm doing next to each other, because I'm going to put either bread ties or a zip tie in there to hold the base food container in place. In other words, it will be attached to the bottom of the cup. Now the pump will hold it when the straw is really snug on the pump, but this is more secure, so when you're lifting it out to give it a good rinse or a wash, it's all one unit. And here I'm going to use bread ties because I have so many right now, and sometimes bread ties are really easy to use. So I'm going to slip them through one hole, one through the other. They're side by side. It's really hard to show this. And then it's going to go through the food container and just twist it. Take your time, but it's not hard. It's just awkward because you have to get the bread tie between the 2 holes on the pedestal and the 2 holes you made that matched on the bottom of the cup. But you'll do it, and once it's done, it's done. You don't have to do it again. And now you just twist the bread ties so they'll hold the 2 parts in place. You can use zip ties, and I've actually used a glue gun before. If you can get the glue through both matching holes on the base and the food container, it will make like a rivet. So whatever way works for you, go for it. So now we're repeating the same thing we did on the first 2 holes with the second 2 holes. Now you can get away with just doing 2 holes, but I'm going to put on each side. See the holes? And each one has a bread tie. Again, you can use a zip tie or whatever method you want to use it. But now the whole thing is intact. The lift pedestal is together. It's all one thing. And you can see the watermelon cup better anyways this way. Now, the other thing I'm doing here is I'm making a notch. See? That's going to be for the cord. Now, I am putting some holes around the rim of the food container on the bottom because I want to make sure the water flows through good. I'm not going to make holes this time in the watermelon cup itself. Sometimes I do on other fountains. This time I'm not. But the water will go through so it won't be bobbing up and down like a buoy. Now I'm using jumbo straws for a lot of my fountains. So when I see them in the stores, they're usually $1 a package. I pick them up because a lot of times they're slightly different sizes. So I've decided I'm going to use one of my own jumbo straws, not the straw this time that came with it, but it's a little bit bigger and the other one was a little too small. Now the thing is, it's too big. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting another one of my straws into strips. So look at that. Well, that one fell on the floor. We'll get that later. And then I'm going to cut it up the side so it's opened. What I'm doing is I'm making open sleeves, and it's going to go onto the pump, and I needed 2 of them. And when I put that straw on, it will be on really snug. It will not go anywhere because I'm building the thickness of the tube. And you can make straws smaller by putting inserts of sleeves in there. That's going to work perfect. Watch when I push it on. It's going to be really tight. Now I can just pick it up, and it's just going to hang on the bottom. It's not going to go anywhere. Now, all I have to do is insert the straw through the base food container, through the cup, and look at that. Beautiful. And that notch will hold it in place for the cord. Now, the top needed a little bit of a larger opening, so I'm taking my hot soldering iron, making it larger, since the straw I used is larger. I'm always going to keep the original straw because I can change things up and have it on hand if I need it. Now, the next thing I'm doing is I'm making notches all over the top. It's too smooth. The hummingbirds need something to grip. Remember, hummingbirds have tiny, tiny toenails. So those little notches we're making is perfect. They're like perches for hummingbirds. So make it all over the place. Notch the edges, notch the center. Don't worry how many scratches and notches you do. Everything will be perfect. Everyone will be appreciated. Now, there's one more thing I like doing, and this is up to you. I collect rocks, and I've washed them. I'm going to drop some rocks on the bottom of the cup. This will really hold it in place. So if you can put something in there, it can be glass, stones, whatever you want, but I found rocks are easy because they're easy to take out and wash because they're so big. It will give it that little bit of weight, and you don't have to make it too heavy. I think I'm overdoing the rocks here. So just put a few rocks in there to keep it nice and upright so it won't tip while larger birds come on to take a bath. That's what it's really for. The hummingbirds aren't going to tip it over. They're so tiny, they're as light as a feather. Now the next thing we're going to do is start washing things. Now you know I scraped the plastic in there, so I want to clean that out and wash it. Now that is going to get snugged back in with the original bowl. And then this one, got to do the same thing. We're going to give it a good rinse in the sink, so I will be right back. But look at that. It is done. It seems like it took a long time, but it didn't. See, it's all washed inside and out. And now we're going to sit it in there and see how it looks. That Oriole's looking at me over my shoulder. Now I'm going to take this outside. We're going to set it with solar, but at the end, I'll show you how we can flip it out to a USB pump so it can run even when there's no sun. And what's wonderful with it, you don't even need an electrical outlet. Now we're going to fill this up with water. When you're using water from a hose, make sure you run it first for a few minutes before you fill up any of your fountains. There it is, turned over, ready to go. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to step back and see what the birds think. So I hope you're going to make some of these for your birds. I put the links in my description. Go check it out. I get them on eBay, the solar fountain kits, and as well as the other pumps. I have bought those on eBay or Walmart. Target may have them. Just look around, but I do put the links underneath. Go through them. But they're so fun to make, easy to put together, and I find them very reliable too. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've got questions, please ask, and be sure to check out all my other videos because as I make them, I always have different tips and tricks on putting fountains together. And I must say, I love spying on them with my security cameras, my wyze cams around the house. So that's how easy it is. You just need 2 bowls, your favorite fabric. You can staple it on or you can tape it on, and now you've got your watermelon, or if you want to buy a strawberry or put a pineapple there, or just a plain old cup will do the same thing, and you now have a hanging fountain for your hummingbirds and all the birds in your neighborhood. So I hope you enjoyed this. Please, if you like it, give it a thumbs up and share this so others can make it for their birds too. With that, have a wonderful day, and don't forget to eat what you grow. Bye-bye. Is this not cute? I love it.